Hi, welcome Dad Foodie. I have, I guess you'd say, three really decadent foods that I love. Number one is foie gras, which I know I'll never make. Number three was a really good traditional cheesecake, which I made and absolutely loved it. It was excellent. Second on my list is creme brulee. And so we're going to attempt to make that today. The recipes actually look pretty simple, I guess similar to a cheesecake. It's just the timing of how much you beat the eggs and the water bath, and there's just the timing in the oven. There's just a lot of things that can go wrong, I guess. So hopefully this will turn out as well as my cheesecake did. And I hope the lighting is okay today. I've got one set of lights that went out in my kitchen, but I think this looks okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I've got just a medium-sized mixing bowl. I've got 6 egg yolks. I'm going to pour them into the mixing bowl. I do have my oven preheated to 300 degrees because, like I said, the timing of this, you want the hot water bath ready to go, you want the oven ready to go. To the egg yolk, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of sugar, and I'm just going to start wisping the eggs and kind of slowly add this. I went ahead and got my eggs to room temperature just because it worked very well for the cheesecake. And since I'm dissolving sugar into this, I want it to dissolve quickly and nicely and not get grainy. Looks pretty smooth. And I wanted to do this first, so I'm just going to let it set while I heat the heavy cream up. And that way we'll give it one more stir just to make sure all that sugar is dissolved in here. Oh, I forgot, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. All right, we're at the stove top. I've got a pot. This is probably a little bit big, but I wanted to use this because it's got pour spouts on it. Because what we're going to end up doing is once this gets warm, we're going to slowly pour this into the egg mixture. And this is the real important part. You don't want to go too fast because you don't want to heat up those eggs too quick or we'll have scrambled eggs. So I thought it'd be easier to be able to whisk and pour with a spout on it. Or you can use a ladle. All right, so we're gonna put our burner on pretty low, medium low, because we don't want to scorch the heavy cream. And I'm going to put in 2.5 cups heavy cream. Okay, we'll just kind of keep stirring this. It's on, low, medium, low. We're going to heat this up till it just starts to simmer. In the meantime, you can go ahead and get your hot water boiling. And then what we'll do is right before we put it in the oven, we'll get it to boil again and pour in the pan to give it a nice hot water bath. Also, just to clarify, I guess what I'm really going to make here is egg custard. We'll try the creme brulee part. I don't have a blowtorch for the sugar on top, but I got a couple of things we might try and we'll experiment and see if it works. But I don't really care about the sugar on top personally. I just love the egg custard. Okay, my cream is just starting to bubble to a little simmer. So I turn the burner off. Now we'll go back over to the work island. Okay, so now I'm going to stir this up again, just to make sure that sugar's dissolved, everything's mixed in there good. Looks pretty smooth. Okay, so here's where, how do I want to do this? I'll do it, stir with my right hand. We're going to just pour a little bit. Make sure you keep stirring. So what you want to do is warm those eggs up very slow. If you warm them up too quick, they're going to cook like scrambled eggs. And then once you get past that certain temperature, then we can just pour the rest of it in here. If you find out you have maybe just a little bit of like the little flakes of scrambled eggs in there, you could probably put it through a strainer. But if you got a lot, it's basically ruined. You got to start over again. All right, I don't know how many, I think that's 4 or 5 times. That should be enough to get that warmed up a little bit. Now we can just pour the rest of it in. Smell that vanilla, wow. Well, just to show you here, here's my ramekins. They're just these little single serving size dishes that are, oven safe. You can buy them in sets of 4 or 6. I got 6. Actually, I ordered them through Walmart. I think maybe the easiest way to do this is with a ladle, because I got a little spout on my ladle. If I have some leftover, I may drink it and see what it tastes like. When I was sick, my mom would always make us Jell-O, like especially if we had sore throats and that. And she would always save back just a little, maybe a 2 or 3 ounce cup of the warm liquid Jell-O. And oh man, that was a treat for me when I was sick. Yeah, this is going to be just about perfect for 6. Oh, these are actually 4 ounce ramekins also. Okay, so I should have done this. I'm going to reheat my water to a boil. It should be almost there. It's already at 207 degrees. Oven's preheated to 300. I've got the rack on the middle rack. My water's ready. I'm going to pour this. Boy, be careful you don't get it in your custard. And you want the water to go up more than half, so maybe like 2/3 of the way up. I'm going to cover the pan here with foil and just put it like a tent. I may even put a couple little holes just to let the steam escape. All right, we're gonna let that sit in the water bath in the oven, 400 degrees, 35 to 40 minutes. I'll probably take a look at it in about 38 minutes and we'll see what it looks like. It's gonna be, I think, kind of like the cheesecake we did. You want it to jiggle a little bit, but not like Jell-O. You don't want it too, that's gonna be overcooked. But you want it just a little bit thick, liquidy, like a Jell-O right before it gets set. Let's try this. Wow, that's good. Kind of like my eggnog. Even if it doesn't turn out, this was worth it for the drink. Okay, it's going on 38 minutes, so let's take a look at it. We'll pull this foil off. It definitely looks still very runny, so I'm gonna leave it in there for probably another 5 minutes, I think. I did notice where some recipes called for 300 degrees, some called for 325 degrees. I used the 300 degrees, so I checked it at 35. We'll let it go for 5 minutes, so we'll see after a total of 40 minutes if it looks done. Okay, so I left it a total of 40 minutes, and you can see here if we jiggle this, I think you can see it. It's kind of firm around the edges and a little bit jiggly in the middle, and I think that's what we're looking for. So now we're just going to let this cool off maybe 15, 20 minutes where I'll be able to pull these out with my fingers without burning myself. All right, it's been about 20 minutes, so we can pull these out. Hopefully it's not too hot. No, not too hot. Okay, so now, like I said, we want these to cool off pretty slow, so we'll let them sit out for about another 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, we're gonna cover these with some plastic wrap. Put them in the fridge for 5 hours, maybe overnight. My egg custard, I left it sit in the refrigerator overnight. Let's take a taste of it. Looks really creamy. Oh, wow, this is really good. And I guess what I really liked about, I look at 3 or 4 recipes and I kind of take what I think is the best out of each one. Some of them called for like up to 10 tablespoons of sugar, which I thought was way too much. This one with 4, I think, is just right. You can really taste the custard and the cream without too much sugar and sweetening. Oh, so rich. So good, man. Excellent. Catherine's tasting the egg custard. Pretty
Very
good, huh?
It's not very sweet and very, yeah.
That's what I liked about it is when you get it at the restaurants, it's pretty sweet, which I like it, but this is rich and creamy, but it's not overly sweet.
It's for the high blood sugar people. Yeah,
right.
Thank you, it's good.
Okay, so we're going to try to make the brulee caramelized sugar topping on one of these without a torch. And we'll see how it works. I've got just a mixture of white sugar, brown sugar. Try to sprinkle it evenly. And I don't think you want too much. What I have my broiler on high, rack on the most upper rack. And we're going to try to just stick this under the broiler for a couple minutes. You're going to have to continually watch this. And that, you know, it looks okay. It's not bad. The bowl was still hot, so I put it in the refrigerator for 5 minutes. And there's, you know, a little bit of a glaze there on top. I probably could have left it in there a little bit longer. Yeah, not bad at all. The custard's still not real cold though, so if you're gonna put it into the broiler, caramelize that sugar, then put it in the refrigerator maybe for another 15 or 20 minutes to get it cold again. And that'll work in a pinch. Obviously, the best thing to do is to buy a torch. So if you like the video, and if you like egg custard or creme brulee, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to Ed Foodie. Subscribe over there.